Hello, strangers. In America, they have a day that celebrates. A day of thanks. Let's have a story. Let's have a creepy, terrifying tale. And this tale is called Gobble, Gobble. It's the day before Thanksgiving. It's early, and Tom is out after work with a shopping list texted to him by his wife, Helen. He works nights as a security guard, and he was kind of mad. The day before that, they'd been out and spent plenty of money on Thanksgiving. Still, he needed to pick up more things for the special day. And the one thing he definitely needed to get was the turkey. The day before, the big superstore had put aside a big turkey to be collected for the next day. It was meant to be the best and the biggest turkey. Tom has a big family, and there was at least going to be 15 guests coming to their house. On the drive there, in his large family car, Tom rubbed his face hard, thinking about all the stressful thoughts of his family. He never got along with his dad. He would always put him down and make him feel like a complete failure. He arrived at the store and walked to the back to talk to Harry, the store manager. "Oh, hi, Tom. Here for that big bird." Tom looked up at Harry. He was holding the hugest turkey Tom had ever seen, but for some reason it was a weird colour, almost black. Tom looked confused. "Not to worry about the colour. This is a rare bird, and its skin is this colour. This is a new kind of breed, and believe me, it's the most tastiest turkey you'll ever taste." Tom smiles. "That's great, thanks, Harry." Harry, the store manager, then puts the turkey into a big clear bag and hands it over to Tom. Tom struggles to take it as it's so heavy, and he places it down on the trolley. Tom walks around picking up things around the store that were on the list. Silly things like sprouts. Tom then gets to the till. Harry runs over to the till. "Enjoy that turkey, and happy Thanksgiving." Tom smiles at Harry, but then the lady tells him how much it cost. "That's $90.99, please, sir." Tom slowly puts his hand into his pocket to reach for his wallet and swallows hard, and all of a sudden feels hot and weird. He walks out of the store, puts the shopping in the back of his car, and he sits in the driver's seat, looking over the receipt. God damn it! How much was that turkey? All of a sudden he could hear a rustling sound coming from the back of the car. Tom sat up quickly and turned around, but nothing was there. Then he started his drive home. But for some reason he kept on getting this weird feeling that something was watching him from the back of the car, and he couldn't shake off that feeling for the whole trip home. He arrived home and carried the bags, then with both hands slid the turkey into his arms. The massive grey-looking turkey was so heavy. He opened his front door to the smell of pies and a delightful smell of Thanksgiving. His wife Helen smiled at him. "Oh, let me help." His wife was always so happy, and this kind of irritated Tom. Tom looked at her. "Do you know how much that bird was?" And he handed over her the receipt. "Oh my, but why is it that colour?" said Helen. "Don't worry, it's a rare bird. It's meant to look like that." She takes the giant turkey out of the clear bag and washes it under the tap. In the sink, there's a big glass pot on the table, full of delicious smelling stuffing. Helen lays the big turkey down onto a big tray. and starts stuffing the green stuffing inside of the turkey's neck hole. She pushes her hand deep inside and then screams as blood starts spraying from inside the turkey. Tom runs over. As she pulls her hand out, there is a massive cut across her hand. She has blood splattered all over her cute cartoon turkey print apron. She was crying. Tom, there's something sharp in there. Tom holds her hand with a tea towel and walks her over to the bathroom to get a bandage. He cleans the wound, but then all of a sudden, they hear a sound. Gobble, 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 gobble. It sounded just like a turkey. They both looked at each other and walked back into the kitchen. Tom's brother and wife were standing at the kitchen window, pointing. Gobble, gobble. Tom's brother is making a turkey sound. Tom goes and opens the door. Hey, Tom. Wow, big turkey this year. Gobble, gobble. You're earlier than expected, Gary. You wasn't meant to be here till tomorrow. We're here earlier. I couldn't wait to see my big brother. How's things going, Tom? Tom's wife, Helen, walked in, still with blood all over her apron. Gary pointed. Wow, I didn't know you killed the turkey yourself. Helen looked down at her apron. Tom then spoke up. No, she just cut herself. While she was stuffing the big beast, Tom and Gary just laughed. Gary was Tom's younger brother, and he was always laughing and joking. When are the others coming? Asked Gary. Tomorrow, says Tom. You know, when you were meant to get here? They both laughed again. Helen then put some gloves on and got back to the turkey. She decided not to stuff the turkey after all, and then decides just to pop it in the oven on a low heat. Helen shows Kate to the spare room while Gary and Tom have a beer. Kate asked Helen if she needs help preparing the food for tomorrow. Yes, that would be great, said Helen with a smile. What happened to your hand? Helen tells her all about the turkey and returns downstairs to prepare the food for tomorrow. Happily, they spend the rest of the day drinking wine and laughing about the old days. They decide to go to bed early because the families will be there tomorrow morning. But in the middle of the night, something strange happens. There's banging from downstairs. Thud, thud, thud. Helen wakes up. She shakes Tom. Honey, honey. Gobble, gobble. Thump, thump. Tom wakes up. What, Helen? There's a sound downstairs. Gobble, gobble. Thud, thud. Tom rubs his eyes and creeps out of the room and walks down the staircase into the kitchen, feeling the walls slowly. He tiptoed into the room where the only light was coming from the oven. He could see the turkey slowly cooking, but looked around and saw nothing but tubs and bowls covered in tinfoil glistening from the light from the oven. He walked back upstairs. Helen was already asleep, and Tom got back to bed. Tom woke with the smell of turkey and his wife calling his name. Tom, get up, they'll be here soon. As Tom walked downstairs, he looked into the kitchen. It looked beautiful, all the food laid out, and little cartoon turkeys darted around the room. The dining table was set out with candles and gold glitter. Wow, Helen, this looks beautiful. You have been so busy. Thanks, honey. I have been up a while. The turkey was on the main table, covered in tinfoil. Tom heard the door. It was Max, his older brother, with his wife and their 4 children. Then his sister Lynn and her 3 children. Then, not long after, there was another knock on the door. It was his mum and dad and his weird cousin Jim that had nicely drove them over. Everyone was full of hugs and cheers. and they sat in the sitting room. It was already 11:30, but wine was being poured. Then there was another knock on the door. Now it was Helen's family, her sister Natalie, and her mum and dad. Everything was running on schedule. Time seemed to go very quickly. Then it was turkey time. Everyone was very excited, and they all hustled to get round the table. Tom! Helen passed Tom a big carving knife and whispers, "It's for the turkey." He picks up a glass and taps it 3 times with the knife. He toasts and shouts, "Happy Thanksgiving! Happy Thanksgiving, everyone!" He then slides the turkey closer to the edge of the table, picks up a fork with 2 pins to hold the turkey still as he carved. But before he could begin, the turkey started to move. It started twitching and moving. Gobble, 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 gobble. Tom looked down at its weird grey skin as it wobbled on the serving plate. Everyone looked at each other very confused. And then it seems to almost stand up by itself, and it launches into the air and lands on Tom's head. A very loud crunch sound. And then, all of a sudden, Tom stabbed Helen straight through the eye and shouted. You could hear Tom's muffled voice through the turkey, saying, "Helen, what are you thankful for?" in a very muffled voice. She had blood running down from her eye. Everyone was stunned, not knowing what to do, as Tom stood there with the turkey on his face. Helen didn't say a word. She was dead already. Tom put his hand on her head and pulled back, the knife sliding from her eye. Then Tom, with the turkey on his head still, turns to his brother, Gary, and says, "Gary, what are you thankful for?" But before Gary could even answer, Tom grabbed hold of his hair and slit his throat. Blood poured all over the table, and everyone started to scream. Everyone ran out of the room, not believing what they had seen with their own eyes. Kate got straight on her phone and called the police. They all ran to their cars and waited. But when the police arrived to see the bloody, disgusting scene left behind, Tom was nowhere to be found. So now, please watch out. Tom is still out there. He's still at large. And who knows what that turkey has turned him into? A killer. Is it mind control? Or was this just a game to Tom? Maybe we'll find out next time. Now everyone is scared of the story about Turkey Tom. Thanks so much for coming along and watching today's tale. Hope I didn't scare you too much and you sleep alright tonight. Don't sleep. Be scared, because Tom the Turkey Man is still out there. And next he might come to your house. Maybe even for Christmas. And I'll see you next time for another creepy, terrifying tale. Goodbye now. Bye.